President-elect, Mrs. Rajavi, honourable friends and colleagues, thank you for inviting me to celebrate the International Women's Day with you. I want to take this opportunity to express my solidarity with women in Iran who courageously stand up for their rights and their equality. I also want to thank Mrs. Rajavi for her informative and inspirational remarks, explaining the women's struggle and their historic role in the freedom movement in Iran. I'm encouraged to hear your 10-point plan for the future of Iran, which offers a free and democratic Iran that is diametrically opposed to Iran under the current theocratic regime, characterized by repression, misery, and misogyny. By every measure and definition of the word, Iran under the theocratic regime is a gender apartheid. And although different in nature, like the last apartheid in South Africa, there must be a synergy of diplomatic isolation, international pressure, sanctions, and global support for the grassroots movement, and recognition of the resistance movement with its leader, recognition from the international community if Iranian people, especially women, are to throw the gender apartheid instituted by the theocracy into the dustbin of history. And we know that the leader of this resistance movement is Mrs. Rajavi, whom we have just heard from, and as she explained, women are both leading the opposition and are at the front of the anti-government protests in the country for the last 4 decades. So we in the West and all the international community must stand with them so that women are free to choose their place of residence, their occupation and education. Women in Iran have the right to choose their clothing, to travel freely, choose their spouse, divorce, obtain custody and guardianship over their children. The West and the international community must also pressure the regime and government in Iran to release all political prisoners and dual citizens. This and other human rights improvement should be the minimum condition for any bilateral or trade relations with Iran. These are inalienable rights that are the basis of any functioning and prosperous society. And as we have heard from Mrs. Rajavi, the women of Iran are already committed to the struggle to achieve these rights. The International Women's Day is the day that marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality, according to the official website. Today, it is my privilege to join with other speakers to call on the UK government to act in close cooperation with our allies at the EU and the UN. Thank you very much.